Hi guys, Penny Rose Journals. How you doing? Well, I've got another voiceover for you. I decided to do this as a voiceover because I recorded so many little bits of video. We're here doing a little bit of decoration on that small journal in the box. I had a few people say that they were interested to see how it turned out, so I thought I would just sit with you guys and do a little bit of crafting, a little bit of decorating. You notice there's a second book there. That's actually the first one I made. I made that one to make sure I could get the size of the book for the box correct. Although I do make little books like this quite often, I call them my little books of whimsy and use them to tidy up my desk occasionally when I finish a project or finish crafting for the day. Sometimes I will just reach over and grab my little book of whimsy and start sticking things into the pages. So they're all quite eclectic and full of old bits of jewellery and beads and paper and fabric and threads and all the rest of the good stuff that you have lying around on your desk at the end of a project. So this will probably just end up being one of those. But yeah, this is, I think I do a couple of little things in this journal, but mostly it's in the one that lives in the box. So once I finished having a quick look through the journals, I did speed this up for you guys. It surprises me actually how long it takes to do things. Once I'd finished this and sort of stitched it all together, it was over an hour. I think it was 74 minutes or something, which is a ridiculous amount of time. It astonishes me how long it takes to do things. I guess you just don't notice when you're just doing it by yourself, but when you record it and then stick it all together, you're like, oh my goodness. No wonder I never feel like I've got enough time to do anything. Everything takes forever. So, yeah. Anyway, so I did that. I sped it up for you, so it's only about half hour, which I think is a little bit more doable when you're just sitting down and watching a video. Basically I had all this scrap that was the right sort of colours for what I wanted to do, so I just began picking little bits out and sticking them together, making little snippets and bits and pieces. I think I stick that one in, then I'll probably move on to doing a little tag or something. I did a few little things. Like I say, it's pretty amazing how long it takes, to be honest. I did end up using quite a few staples to hold things together in this little journal because it's just so small, or the little pieces I'm working with are so small. Gluing them together just seemed messy and tedious, so yeah. I just went with a staple in the middle and then glued them to the page. So really my only goal whilst doing this today was to cover up any bits of the pages I didn't like. Like I said, I made a few little tags along the way, but I just wanted to, cover seams and breaks and, printing on bags and whatnot like that, so that everything looked a bit more presentable. So, but yes, I cut out a lot of dithering. You know how it is. You just look at all the pile of stuff in front of you and you're like, tap my fingers and think about this a bit. And yeah, I cut all that out and then sped everything up by 2, so you at least don't have to watch that. And it was nice because I managed to get some crafting done and watch a few craft videos while I was doing it. I enjoy watching all the ladies on YouTube who do the same sort of thing. have them playing in the background while I'm crafting. It's like having a friend there chattering away while you're doing things. It's nice, and you just look up occasionally and see what's happening and get some new ideas. It's fabulous. So I love the fact that YouTube can bring us all together like that. Yeah, I think my hobbies are super unusual. And then I get on YouTube and like, oh, there's a whole community of us. It's wonderful. So yeah, I'm glad I found you all. It's like finding a bunch of new friends. So yeah, I'm afraid you don't use up much scrap doing these little books, because you use, well, I use all those little microscopic pieces on my desk, or I pick up a decent sized piece and then pull a little microscopic bit off of it and then start sticking it to other microscopic bits, and eventually I've decorated the whole journal and I've still got the pile of scrap that I started out with, because I seem to have used nothing. I don't think you can craft your way out of your mess, to be honest. Maybe if you were sticking it to a wall, you might be able to get rid of some of it, but no. I don't think you can craft it away, unfortunately. So this is a bit of piano roll. I was fortunate enough to find a few of those one day while I was in a junk shop in Adelaide with my friend, and I brought them all home. I went there with a nearly empty suitcase, and I came back and had to pay for an extra 30 kilos of baggage or luggage on the plane. It was the best week ever. They have great junk shops in Adelaide, in case you ever get there. Or in South Australia. I wasn't right in Adelaide, but yeah. We don't seem to have those kind of shops in WA, so I was very, very pleased to find them over there. So my girlfriend does not share the same sort of hobbies, so she probably thought I was a mad person buying lace tablecloths and old piano rolls and people's discarded cotton and thread and whatnot from grab bags. But I did get a lot of great stuff there. So this is that square piece that I picked up and popped on the front there for a moment. That's actually the end of a piano roll box. It was in pretty bad nick when I got it, and the end just sort of fell off one day while I was taking the piano roll out. So I thought, well, that will make a nice addition to the front of this little journal. So I popped it on and stuck it down, and yes, it's now the front cover of that journal. So I left a little pocket, and you can see here I'm making a small tag. The idea for this tag was to go in the pocket on the front. Unfortunately, it ended up being the sort of a bit long. The little snippet that I made for the end of the tag was just sticking out a bit too much once I'd popped it in the pocket. So I popped that elsewhere in the journal, and later on I'll make another tag for the front. So you'll excuse any sort of noise you're hearing from outside. I am trying to sit in a quiet spot to do this voiceover, but across the road they are digging up the street and running some cabling for something. So there is the occasional clang and crunch and machinery noise that I'm desperately trying to avoid interrupting, but yeah, you have no control. That was what's left of the back cover of a just a notepad. I've had it hanging around my craft room forever. I just couldn't throw it out. I'd use the rest of it to make book spines and whatnot, but yeah, I had that nice little piece with all the holes in it, and I'm like, I just couldn't bring myself to throw it away. I knew I'd use it for something, so I just made some simple tags. Literally put a piece of scrapbook paper down the front and then tied a bit of lace through the top hole and called it a tag. So yeah, they look quite cute. I put one in this journal and I put one in the other journal as well afterwards. So this particular journal had a very skinny pocket at the front, so it was perfect for that. The other journal did not have the same skinny pocket. Clearly I'd put it together a bit differently. You can see me looking around for the skinny pocket here, but there isn't one. So I just popped it into a pocket somewhere along the way. You can see over there on the right hand side, there's that old book spine. That's an incredibly old book spine. It's literally sort of falling apart. And it's just all the threads from the signatures once they were cut and the signatures taken out. That was what was left of the spine, and it was just super interesting. So of course, you can't throw these things out. So it's also been floating around my desk for quite some time, waiting for a place to go. I probably would have made a belly band or something out of it eventually, but as it turned out, I decided to use it in this book, which was great because it sort of gets pride of place, and yeah, I get to use up most of it and have it quite visible in this little journal. So I enjoyed that final resting place it had. These are these little strips that I'm cutting up and gluing on now. The edges of a table mat, placemat for a table. I had this one random placemat, and it's actually covered in it's actually just paper covered in it's been laminated, and I wanted to use the picture in the middle, and this was what the edging was like, so I cut the edges off so that I could get into the laminate, and then couldn't use the picture, or couldn't get the picture out anyway because the laminate was literally stuck to the picture. So that project got put aside, but I had all these strips for the edge, and I pulled them in half, and they were just so interesting. I kept them because that's what I do. It's like, oh look, garbage, quick, put it in the scrap pile, we have to keep it. And of course it came in handy here. So I think this was probably the next day, and here the book spine gets its big chance. So yeah, I decided to cover the inside of the front and back covers with a piece of that book spine each. So it got pride of place, and it looks super interesting because of all the little threads hanging out of it. And as you can see, it fell in half when I cut it. It's very, very fragile, so it's a good spot for it. It's not going to get banged around too much sitting there. So, and it's super interesting, and I have one piece left that I will have to find a home for. But I'm sure it won't be too much of a drama, and it's smaller than it was, so it takes up less room, and I'm sure there's umpteen ways I could justify to myself keeping that little piece of book spine, but even if there wasn't, I'm going to keep it anyway because I just love it. There's another one in that pile there. Don't know if you can see at the top of it's a bit red, but yeah, that is also very similar. It's just a lot skinnier. I haven't used any of that yet, but I'll get there. These are just a couple little stickers I've had floating around forever. I thought I just wanted to cover up those little recycled paper emblems on that page, just with a bit of something. So yeah, I just stuck one of those on each side, and I think there's one more that I end up popping on a tag later on in the video. Getting rid of a few things that have just been floating around for a long time. So it's always nice to use up those things. Even if, they're just such tiny little things and it's not going to make any difference at all in your craft room. It's just satisfying to have finally used them. I think more often than not is the fact that I forget that I have them, that they don't get used. And then when they catch my eye, it's like, oh yes, just slap them on here, that's great. Gone, done. Happy with that. Here I decided to tear apart a piece of jute string and use that on the topper of a tag, I think. Yeah, again, because it was just laying on my desk and I saw it and I thought, surely I have to be able to do something with this, I've got 10 centimetres of jute twine here. What am I going to do with that? Not throw it out. That's what I'm going to do with that. So, yeah. Well, I've used a quarter of it now. So, it's still 10 centimetres long. And now there's 2 pieces of it. But a quarter of it's gone. Oh, dear. The funny thing is I know you all understand this. Person needs help. Yeah, no, it's not a tag, it's just a little page embellishment. I just wanted to stick it over that flap of the envelope there. It doesn't open. So, a little bit of lace, little bits of scrap, and some jute twine. These are some stickers, again those old office stickers. These ones I printed out on my printer. It doesn't quite fit on that page, so I rip it off and I pop that on the next page with that little sort of embellishment that I made there. Yeah, they're quite usable, those stickers, if you have a printer or you don't mind mucking around with your stamps and inks and whatnot, like I showed in my previous video. So yeah, I quite like having them floating around. I will be glad to use up some of them, like, because I have 5, 6, 7, 8 packets of them. I mean, they're not full. Well, 4 packets are actually full. Yeah. I have 4 open boxes of different sizes and then 4 of all the same size that are still unopened. So I have a lot of labels to get through. That white paper then was another piece of paper off of a book spine, just torn off the back. This was a little tag from a bookshop. I went along and bought one of those date with a book packets that you can get with a random book inside it with just a few little hints on the brown paper covering. Of course, I still have the brown paper and the string and clearly the tag that it all came with. So, it was like buying craft supplies and I got a book for free. So yeah, I've got a couple of those little tags because I was with my daughter and her friend, and they also bought one, and I purloined everybody's everything. So yeah, they're nice little tags. And it fit pretty well in this journal, so I was pretty pleased with that. So I have spent the last couple of days cleaning my craft room, and by cleaning, I mean pulling everything out and reorganizing it. So yeah, it's been horrendous these last few days. I've been at it for almost a week now. I decided I have videoed these little snippets of video in between. They're the only crafting times I've taken in between tidying, and I decided to sit down and voice over it today. So you guys have, not thinking I've disappeared completely, but yeah, my craft room's coming together, I think. I don't know, you ladies have probably done it before. You get things set up and you think, yeah, that's it, that's good. And then you see something else and you're like, that would be a better solution. So you reorganize all of everything and you're like, perfect, now that's good, that'll be good. And I was in the middle of it and I'm thinking, how long is it going to take until I decided that a different setup would be better? So yeah, I'm not really sure. Not really sure how long it'll last, but it's pretty much done now. I've got rid of a lot of odd bod boxes that I had lying around. Most of my things are now in sort of, I had a lot of plastic crates. I've got rid of quite a few of those. And I had those I have some cube shelving up here, and I have those baskets in it, and just the fabric baskets, and most of my things are stored like that. But with those deep ones, you end up with a layer of stuff in the bottom, and then if you put anything on top, you never see the stuff in the bottom. So I try not to put anything on top, but then all that space is wasted. I went to IKEA the other day and they had those fabric boxes but with drawers in them. So I bought a bunch of those. I bought 8 of those. And yeah, I think they're going to work well. So we'll see. But I did get rid of a lot of plastic storage, so that's nice to see that gone. You can walk around in my craft room a bit more successfully. So yeah. I still have a bit to do. There's still a few things to finish tidying up. I did a little bit of watercolour today so that I had some little bits of ephemera that I could use in this same tiny journal that we're working on here. I wanted to pop some bits in like were in the other one. I don't know if you noticed at the beginning of the video. But I used up all the ones that I had, so I painted a few more this morning. Well, painted the backgrounds for them. It's just a case of sitting and doodling now, so at least I've got some underway. But other than that, I have not done much crafting at all for the last week, to be honest. I'm looking forward. This is my last day of work for the Christmas break, so now that I finished today, I'm on Christmas holidays for a couple of weeks. So yes, I'm looking forward to doing a lot of things. Finishing my deck, which I'm not looking forward to doing, but needs to be done. I will do that if it kills me, and it may. So yes, I will be finishing my deck over the holidays. I will be doing a lot of crafting. Hopefully I will do some more videos of journals, which I haven't done any for a while, and I have probably 5 journals that I need to do videos for left. And then I'm still, I haven't done anything else on it obviously, but I am working on that journal that we started together. And I have 2 more here that are virtually finished. They just need to be put in covers. So one I've had hanging around for a long time. It was actually made for a friend. I had an online friend, and it was during COVID period, and I lost touch with them they were ill and I lost touch with them, and unfortunately I don't know what happened. So, but I was in the midst of making a journal for them, so it's a bit sad. It's been sitting here ever since. So it's been sitting here for over a year now, just in hiatus, because I don't want to finish it. Yeah, so I mean that's, I guess, the worst part of being part of an online community and not actually knowing people. When they disappear from your life, you're never quite sure what has happened, and all you can do is hope they're okay. So yes, so I have that journal here, and I think it's about time it was finished. I went through it the other day, and it's virtually finished aside from the cover, so I might work on that over the Christmas break. I'll see how I go. So I'm just making a couple more tags for this journal. We're getting towards the end, I think, of this video, which is probably a good thing. You guys are probably sick of listening to me ramble about absolute rubbish, and yeah, and watching me get way off camera to do things. Yeah, I definitely need to work on my camera skills or my staying in shot while I'm crafting skills. Promise I'll work on it. Because, yeah, sitting here looking at my pile of junk whilst I do some crafting right down the bottom there probably isn't terribly exciting for you guys. I did try. I'm sorry. I'll get better. As you know, I haven't done too many videos yet, so yeah, it's all a learning curve. I'm hoping that, yeah, there will be a vast improvement at some point. I guess you guys are probably hoping the same thing. So here's a bit more of that placemat there as a tag. Works quite well as a tag because it's quite stiff. It still has the laminate on the outside of it, although it's matte. It is still laminated on the outside, so it's quite stiff. So it makes quite a good tag topper. And I decided I needed to cover up that sort of join in the envelope there. So that's what I'm going about doing now. I think I'll probably make a couple more tags for this journal, and that's about it at this stage. And of course I cover up those little recycled markings. So excuse me while I have a drink of water. My voice gets croaky while I'm talking so much. I don't actually talk a lot because I'm here by myself, because I work from home. I'm here by myself quite a lot, so yeah. This is probably the most talking I do. The old voice is not used to it these days. I can actually see out of my window from here, and there is now I think 7 workmen out there doing things. One's in a hole and there's 6 standing around watching him. Oh no, there's 8. There's another one getting in a truck over there. So there you go. It's all happening here today. And thankfully there hasn't been too much noise while I've been doing this, I don't think. Here's a little quick flip through of what I've been doing so you can see. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy how this is going. It's coming along. There's still some work to do, and I will probably film some more, but yeah, it is coming along not too bad, I think. Here we go. This is the little tag I'm just putting together here for the front to slide underneath that that end of the box, the piano roll box. So yeah, we have a little tag for there now. And then I'll just pop it back in the box, make sure it all fits, and we'll call it a day. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope it hasn't been too tedious. Like I say, I did speed it up so you guys didn't have to deal with an hour of this. And of course, so I didn't have to do an hour's worth of voiceover because that would have just been murderous. But yeah, see, she still fits in a little box. It's looking quite good. Yeah, I guess we'll see you again next time, hopefully, and we'll do a little bit more. Thanks for coming along. It's been great having you. Bye.